Today we are making this gorgeous modern headband using mega soft alpaca boucle yarn. It feels every bit as luxurious as it looks. For those of you ready to dive in, I've also created a free PDF pattern for this project with sizing instructions for 3 different head sizes. You can grab it from the link in the description below. For your convenience, I also placed time codes so it would be easy to navigate through the tutorial. Grab your needles, find the comfy spot, and let's get started. For this project we need yarn, of course. I'm using Drops Alpaca Boucle from Drops Garn Studio. 80% alpaca, 15% wool, and 5% polyamide. Weight of the yarn is 50 grams, has approximately 140 meters. If you don't have this exact yarn, you can find the similar boucle yarn with similar parameters. If it would be, say, 120 meters, 150 meters per 50 grams, it's also fine. But I think Drops yarn is available pretty much everywhere. That's how the thread looks like. I'll be using 4 millimeters circular needles. This one is cubics from Knit Pro, and I'm using short thread of 40 centimeters, I believe. Use the smallest you have for circle knitting. Also, we need measuring tape, a tapestry needle, and scissors. That's pretty much it. It's an easy and straightforward project. I think everyone can knit it. The only difficulty I can see here that this yarn is a little bit tricky, I would say, to knit with because of the curls. It's easy to confuse with stitches, so I wouldn't recommend it for the very first knitting project, but if you already mastered a few other projects, just go for it. It's would be a rewarding project, I think. That's pretty much it, guys. Happy knitting. Let's start with casting on stitches with a long tail cast on method. If you don't know how to cast on with the long tail method, I have a more detailed tutorial. I'm not going to stop here. I'll add one extra stitch which I'll use up for connecting everything in the round, and I also tied a knot. When you count, just make sure that you count actual stitches because basically the curls, they're easy to confuse. The stitches, you see how the fabric is. I recommend you guys to pay more attention and count maybe twice to make sure that you actually counted stitches, not the curls. Now after we cast on 40 plus 1 stitch, we can divide them like so and join the round. I approximately dividing my stitches in two, but it's very rough. We don't need a precise amount. Just pull everything towards the edges. And also here will be the tricky part. That is why I'm not recommending it as your first project, because here now you need to understand where is the base of stitch and where is the upper side. So you see everything is very curly and confusing, but you can actually feel it here in the bottom. It's a little bit tighter, so try to understand. You can just feel there's like a tighter road here of stitches, and try to not to crisscross them when you be joining, otherwise it will be twisted, the fabric, and you'll need to reknit it, and I'm pretty much sure that it would be torture to unravel this boucle yarn. I never tried. This is my first boucle project, actually. I'm very late with the trends, but I still wanted to try it. Well, a lot of things I want to try. So now we need to join the yarn, and the easiest will be is to transfer one edge stitch to the other needle here, and yeah, now the first stitch from this needle is going to get a bow. So there is also more about circular knitting and magic loop. I have tutorials about it, so if it is confusing with this yarn, I know it is, just watch that tutorial. And I also have this confusing long tail which I want to cut, want to knit with it. We have a thread attached to this one, and this means that I'll just pull this thread and knit in a circle. So I carry on knitting just with regular knit stitches in the round. Depends on your head measurements. Be careful and don't lose stitches with this curly yarn. Just need to pay more attention to what you're doing here, but I'm sure we'll manage. And then I'll meet you guys there and show you what to do next. I needed the desirable length for my head, according to my head size, and it is time to bind off. I'll use just a regular method. I don't really need elastic here, and I also have a full tutorial on my channel. I'll link it down below in case if you're not familiar with that. Basically what you do is you knit in the first, then you knit the second, and pull the first stitch through the second, and please refer to the pattern for the exact measurements of the finished product.
Here I have 2 last stitches left, so and for this one I normally raise the first side of the stitches in front and just pull it through without knitting. This yarn is a little bit stubborn. Okay, we close this side as well. Here, just pull long tail. I would recommend you leave approximately 4 sizes of the length of the side. So something like this would be enough. So you see I have the length of 4, and I'll cut the yarn. So now we need a tapestry needle. Just roll the yarn a little bit in your fingers so it would be easier to pull through. Here you can close the stitches with any preferred method, but this stitch, and then afterwards we close here as well. They won't be really visible, so I don't see a point to put a lot of effort in a perfect closure. Just use any of your preferred method. I'll be raising up this edges and just pulling through. Very simple stitch. I don't really need anything fancy here. If you remember the stitches I used from the Scrunchie tutorial, you can totally use it here. It's a little bit difficult for me to show on this curly yarn. That is why I'm saying that this tutorial is not really intended for beginners, because you need to understand approximately what you're doing, otherwise it's hard to see and also difficult for me to show appropriately. In the end I have the last stitch to make, and for extra security I prefer to do this loop, but it's optional, and basically I tied a knot with that, but if you want to you can just add extra knot like so, just to make sure that everything will stay together. Yes, we're done with this one. I have quite a lot of thread left here. We're now starting to close stitches here, and this one will wave it in. It's pretty simple to do. We can just do it together quickly. Especially with this yarn, everything looks kind of fluffy and you cannot see stitches. Here I'll just wave it in like this. Oh, okay, done. And if it's get out one day, just try to put it in, but I don't think it would be visible because here we'll tighten out. Now I'll do the same with this other side. I'll just quickly sew it together here. Just tighten knot in the beginning so your yarn won't go anywhere. Yeah, just something like this will do. Yep, the length is approximately the same here, so repeat sewing of this side and I'll meet you guys when I'm done. Got the thread from the ball of yarn, and so I'll also will hide it so it won't be confusing for me to work with. Still kept this one just in case if I won't have enough of the thread left. Now the most I think complicated part of it, or maybe like the most confusing, I would say. So here I have two sides, and we just fold them like this for now. Just place them like so. Make sure that you got all the edges, and start sewing up and make sure that you get all 4 sides when you're sewing, so the stitch will get through. Because the sides, they might cut a little bit inside, but it's manageable. And tighter knot through doing this big loop and pulling the thread through it, so it's like some sort of a loop. Okay, and just carry on sewing the piece. Now you have like 4 pieces to insert needle through, so just make sure that every time you sew in, you connect all 4 pieces, and then you'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can do more motions like this to make sure that it's really tight, but basically use any stitch you have. It's the side will be inside, so it doesn't have to be the prettiest, just secure. And I know it's a little bit hard to see with this boucle yarn what I'm doing here, but the good news that your stitches won't be visible as well, so you don't have to try to do your best here, just secure. Also try not to go too far, just be here in sewing through the edge. Here I'll add this extra security, and I have a little bit of thread left. I'll just chop here, and I'll carry on sewing, but going a little bit backwards now. To add extra security, so it will do no harm if you sew it up twice, going back and forth, and maybe forth and back in this case. Anyways, okay, I'm done here. Just hide the thread and just basically pull it inside somewhere here. And pull it a little bit up, cut it close, and here we go. We are done. The last thing left is just to turn our headband like this. So this is the end result. Hope you enjoy knitting this headband with me, and you'll enjoy wearing it even more. Thanks for knitting along. I would be happy if you tag me with your results on Instagram. I would be absolutely thrilled to see your work. Thanks for watching. Follow for more tips and knitting tutorials like this.